You ready to hit it?
You know it.
Let's hear it. Come on, give us a round of applause. That is the beginning of this show. Welcome, everybody, listening at home or watching on YouTube. We are live from the Dutch Hall. We are Canada's only late night talk show and the greatest podcast ever to come out of a bullshit, Pine Grove, Ontario. Now hailing from the bowels of Spiky Ball Studio, the Delhi's brand new Dutch Hall. Brought to you tonight by our good friends at Clean Flow. Yeah. And tonight, we have the greatest band in Canadian late night history, as always, flanking us beside us. Surprise this week. Oh no, who are they? The Nocturnal Emissions, everybody. Sorry, I forgot that. This week comprised on rhythm and vocals, the man that writes the music for the show, Dave the Rooster Charters, everyone. Beside him on lead guitar, that's our buddy, Steve the Reluctant German. And in the corner, as per COTC regulations, tickling the skins, that's the French tickler, Cam Bologna, everyone. And rounding out the band, sitting there hanging low as the balls of the Nocturnal Emission, playing the bottom end. That is Whiskey Wes Higgins, everyone. It's like a big black hole. And our guest tonight, he's playing the role of a lifetime. He's filling the shoes of Paul Van Dyke. Those aren't easy shoes. But he's going to do one better. He's going to be our guest tonight. He's a longtime friend of the show. That is the Shaz, Tyler Shazma, everyone. And me, who's this guy talking on the microphone, you might ask? I am the host of this program and two-time President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke, everyone.
That's one of those ones where it's like, I wish we played that one before. Yep. There. Yeah. Shit for me. Fuck.
I felt the same way.
Maybe do it again. No,
Although start, I don't know.
What do you think? You didn't think that sounded as good as the ones you did before?
I was
that?
fumbling all over the chalkboard, man.
Well.
I still think that most people are going to be happy with the Nocturnal Emissions performance. I think you guys are your own worst critics. You know, I don't think that's unfair of me to say. Now, I got to tell you, this is a new setup here at the Dutch Hall, and it's kind of weird because I am actually behind the band, especially Dave the Rooster Charters. I'm behind him. So I look very clearly at the back of Dave's head. Dave, I don't know if you can spin that stool around. Can you just show the people at home? There's the back of Dave's head.
It's bright.
Yeah. What is that in the hat there? Can you spin? Oh, there it is. What is that there?
Animal? Is that an animal?
This has been a curiosity of mine on the back of Dave's head. Number one, it's quite clear that you have your face is very red and your neck is very white. Like, how do you get a different color on your face than on the back? That was one thing. But the hair sticking out of the back of your hat is peculiar. Makes me think, what is it? Is it a mohawk? Is it a rat tail? Is it... You know, what could it possibly be?
The tuft.
It's a tuft that you left up there? Is this Dave, you've started to go to a new barber about a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
This the same guy?
Yeah, I was there today.
You like it there, do you?
Yeah, actually we were talking about the tip he gave me to go to Robert's Western World. You remember that in Nashville?
Oh, yes?
That was my barber's tip. Get a bologna sandwich and a PBR.
Oh, yeah, that was a good deal, eh? Couldn't
awesome.
beat it. Cheapest thing you could do.
I actually had one sandwich and 3 PBRs.
I couldn't have anything. I had to have a
11.
vodka soda.
Cost me $11.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
A bologna sandwich and 3 Pabst Blue Ribbons.
Did you get mustard on the bologna sandwich?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
They
Fried bologna, too.
They fried
right?
it right in front of me.
Yeah, that is the best deal. Anyways, so they give you good advice, I'll give you that. I cannot give you that they give you good haircuts. Because I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen it. Do you want to unveil that bad boy on the show?
Well, I didn't do anything with it.
Well, geez, it's just so curious. There it is. It's like you have hidden hair. It's very Mo from the Three Stooges, eh? Now, does the guy use a bowl there for that?
No, he uses a clipper, 000.
000.
Yeah.
What do you like most about it is the hipster aspect of the establishment, right? You like that?
I like to be clean cut, at first glance, and then
But it's man shop. Is it a man shop?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
a real old school barber shop? Does the ladies go in there and get a permanent?
I've never seen any ladies in there unless they're dropping off their kid or something.
Women will drop off their kid at the barber
Yeah.
and leave? Do they have magazines at the barber shop?
Usually they sit out front and wait.
Yeah, you keep an eye on your kid. You don't just drop them off to a couple of barbers and then just leave town. You say, go ahead and fondle my kid and give him a haircut. I don't give a
Perfectly
shit.
safe there.
Perfectly safe. How do I know? As a mother of a child, how do I know? Right? You don't. You
That's
can't
true.
trust everyone. You have a relationship with these guys over years. You said you've grown fond of them there.
Yeah, they're nice guys. Good
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, you kissed once or twice.
Always good music in there.
Now, what do they have magazines? Was my question.
They do have magazines actually, but they got like old comic books and stuff, and old magazines.
Any like nudie magazines?
They got a lot of pin-up calendars on the wall and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
Like
risque.
every month, yeah, there's another.
So this is like do you find this to be Me Too friendly? This establishment sounds pretty like misogynistic.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, really? I thought that was a corporate thing. Then you're a big part of that,
Me Too is a corporate thing?
isn't it?
I don't think so.
Oh, you're allowed to like sexually harass people at your place of work.
Is that what Me Too means?
Yeah, it's
Sexually
what it
harassing
means.
people?
Yeah, that's what it means. You ever heard of Harvey Weinstein?
See, my eyes have been opened on this show.
What was that, Dave? Was the Harvey Weinstein
Is that Me Too, Harvey Weinstein?
what would you say is? I want to know what you think Me Too
What
is.
what I need you to do is explain to me like the context of Me Too. Is it like something happened to someone and then you're like, yeah, me too?
Yes, exactly. That's what it is.
Oh,
It's the universal struggle that women face from dickhead men that are trying to fuck them all the time and they don't want to fuck them back.
okay.
That's what it is. So someone's like, hey, some creepy guy showed me his dick. And they're like, yeah, me too. And I'm like, I didn't tell anybody because I was ashamed of it. And now, me too.
It makes sense now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? I think pretty sure that's right. Shaz, do you know?
I think it's with a
I
little
think
more
it's
anger.
I think it's a more serious like Me Too.
Yeah,
Oh,
a little
you're
more
right.
anger.
Oh, they're not so
or-
excited about it? Yeah, me too.
It's not
Yes,
too
that's
happy the way
right.
you
You're not
guys are
happy
going
to
on with
agree.
it.
You're like,
Yeah, I
oh my
rode the new
I think-
coaster at Wonderland. Me too.
Yeah, it's oh my
like
God,
that.
me too. It's like you said. One time I came blood, and you're like, oh my God, me too. You know, that'd be a rare thing that's horrible, right? Huh? Don't you
Yeah.
think?
That plus rape.
Yeah, plus rape. Okay, like how about this then? Not much we can do. Prison rape. That's the worst. That's
Oh,
rape.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. You ever been in prison, been raped? You ever been raped in a drunk tank, Dave?
Nope.
See, that was an opportunity almost that we could have had a Me Too moment.
There's
Except
some
I've never been either.
I
but
didn't think about it.
You and Shazma could have had that moment.
Yeah, it's a Me Too friendly establishment to answer your question, now that I know what you're talking about.
Isn't it? At your
would
place
say
of
so.
work, I think you have to be cognizant of women and their empowerment in today's day and age, don't you?
You just have to be cognizant of all people, I think, just generally in life, whether you're working or not.
Oh, you don't.
That's
Yeah,
That's right.
that's a good point, Dave.
Good
Thanks.
answer.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
So you don't see gender, is what you're saying. You just don't.
Sure I do. I see everything.
What?
I see gender, race, sexuality. What else is there?
Religious
Color.
beliefs?
Religious beliefs. That's hard to see.
Come on, you can guess.
I do
Hey?
guess a lot.
Okay, let me give you. I'll describe a person. You guess what religion they are. Okay. You go to a convenience store, right? In the convenience store, there's a fella there of a dark brown complexion, and he sounds like Apu from The Simpsons, right?
Okay.
What religion would you guess he is?
I have no idea.
Are you serious?
I'm not good with religions. I would guess. Honestly, I'm not. I don't.
Oh, really?
No.
You just know Catholic and that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your big one, eh?
He's got a voice. He's got a voice like a poo.
Yeah, he's got a voice like a poo.
What's that? East Indian or Hindu?
Hindu.
So
Ding,
I'm gonna
ding,
say
ding.
Hindu.
Hindu is right. Hindu is right, Dave. Hindu. Hindu.
Not Sikh?
No. Now, if you
No,
see,
Sikh would be.
if you see a
Middle
guy
East.
wearing a turban and he's got a knife strapped to his hip, then you're talking a Sikh right there, buddy. And you can see that by looking in your own two eyes that he's a Sikh, you know?
Yep.
Doesn't make you a prejudiced person to recognize the fucking guy's got a knife on his side. He's on your airplane with a knife there, right?
Is it a knife?
Sword.
It's like a mini sword. There's a word for it.
Super cool, man. I knew the Sikh guy. He had one. It was fucking bitchin' looking. I wish I had one on my hip all the time. It's a fucking cool religion when you get to carry and fucking pack heat everywhere you go, right? I thought so. Anyways, a lot of people think get them mixed up. If you see some guy that's like, let me see. I gave you one. Let's say you see a guy, right? He's like, he's got a bald head and he's wearing a robe, right? Completely bald head. He's wearing a robe.
Is he selling pencils?
Nope. He's just dousing himself in gasoline and lighting himself on fire. Any idea what he would be?
Completely
on,
bald?
man.
Completely bald.
Completely bald. Come on, this is a lob. You're really bad with religions.
Hare Krishna?
No, they got the same haircut as you, what I thought you had. The little ponytail that's going to come out the back. They got to keep that or they go to hell.
Buddhist?
Buddhist is right. Buddhist.
The Sikh sword is a kirpan.
Man.
Wow.
Thank you, Tickler. See?
Small dagger.
A small dagger. Now they must not be able to, they must have to check that with their luggage, you know?
Hopefully.
You probably can't get that on the flight, a dagger. I would say, right? No daggers.
One of the questions on
Dress
Google:
down.
Can a Sikh carry a kirpan on a plane?
Yeah. Can they?
Oh, I didn't go into it. I exited out.
Oh, damn it.
Sorry, listener.
Someone, that's a tease, Kev. What you did was you got them all excited and then you let them down. And so now, as your punishment, I'm going to bring attention to you and ask you a question because you said something to me that I found very interesting.
Oh.
And I want to discuss it with the boys. Kevin is the youngest of the nocturnal emissions, and he is also the one that's in the prime of his life as far as fucking years go, where the rest of us are well past our best days, you know? So maybe Wes still's got some gas in the tank. And of course, our guest Shazma's got his whole life ahead of him here. But as far as the nocturnal emissions, and
It's like 5 days.
but Kevin, you should be living the life that we all dream that we would be living if we could be your age all over again. And so what Kevin did was he joined the modern world and joined a dating app, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable talking about this?
Yeah. Totally.
So Kevin joined a Tinder, and Kevin
Last week.
Last week
On I believe it was Monday.
on Monday. No, Charters used to be on Tinder, eh? Just so that he could feel like he could turn down all the women. He would just swipe left on everyone, going, "No, I'll never do it. I love Teresa. I love Teresa." He would just do that every time, and just feel like he could turn. It gave you a sixth sense of power to be able to turn down those women, didn't it, Dave? To be able to say yeah, you want to fuck me now, but what about high school? No, left. Right? Is that what you did?
I was looking for Eves Van Dyke actually.
Oh, really? You have a thing for Eves?
No, I just heard he was on there. I thought it was a way to make friends like Facebook or something. I wanted to friend him on Tinder.
Oh my God.
Isn't that how it works?
No, you friend Eves on Grindr, Dave. That's where you friend Eves. If you want to just have a friendship, you go to Grindr. You know that. What's the name you use on Grindr?
Mustache
You remember
in a jar.
Master of Industry on Grindr. Mustache
That's
of
actually
Industry.
a good title. Master of Industry.
Mustache of yeah.
Mustache of Industry.
So today's Thursday.
Yeah.
How many hits, or I don't know how it works, but are you like, have you been successful?
Me?
Yeah, since Monday.
So it was Monday of not this week, but last week, and I deleted it on Sunday because I was just bored of it. I talked to 3 women, and it felt so forced and weird and freaked, and I didn't like it. It was just so weird. I didn't like it. I'm not meant to do online dating.
So can I ask you about the ones you swiped right on?
Sure.
So like, what would
Right. Wait. Which one? Right is bad.
Right
left
is good. I think right is correct. Like right is
Yeah,
right.
yeah, right is good. Right is good.
Right is good, right? So then, so
Right
what?
is right.
Yeah, right is right. So which ones like caught your eye? Like, what are you looking for in the profile picture?
It's usually somebody had a tattoo.
Yeah.
There's usually a tattoo there. There was something artistic about them and their appearance. That's
And
usually it. There's something unique about them in their picture.
they look like they're
I don't really care for any of the like puppy face pictures or
like if
anything
you're making
that.
duck lips and
Yeah,
you're
that
like
doesn't really do anything for me.
yeah, you can tell they're kind of like shallow, right? But the whole idea of that app is that you're just judging people on their appearance,
Yeah,
right? And trying to make a call
And
on
then
that.
to my point of the first engagement felt so forced and weird.
Yeah.
It's
Did
just
you go on any dates?
No,
You know?
no.
You know, people got moves for Tinder. Did you have moves for Tinder?
Did I have moves for
You
Tinder?
did, yeah. You of
I
course.
can
have
see
a
how
girl.
people do. I mean, it's just like any sort of online thing. There's some sort of an algorithm. You figure that out, and you're off.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine, he got divorced, and he started using Tinder, and he was like, I love it. I swipe right on everyone. And then I just, you know what? I meet a lot of nice girls. Sure, most of them are grossly overweight, but they're all great girls, nice to talk to, and at the end of the night, they always suck your dick. Right? And he goes, he just thought it was a great program, just really bought in, found his niche, and went with it. And he goes, you know, who was harmed in that evening? We had a great chat. He still got to put a penis in her mouth. She was obviously orally fixated, so it was good for her, too.
Work for her, work for him.
Yeah, it's one of those things. People all find each other, right? I always think about that when you think about, like, you know how, like, a lot of the people from the Caribbean tend to like heavier set women,
Yep.
right? But then in the North America, we tend to be more towards the slim, you know, as what we envision beauty as. But like, could you imagine like if you're a person who's overweight, and then like you live in like Simcoe or Delhi or something, and then all of a sudden like twice a year, like half your town on Friday is like these guys who think you're hot. Like, can you imagine if it was when no one in town did before, and now they all buses of guys that think you're hot are coming in. Can you imagine if it was the other way around, like where no one found you attractive, Charters, in real life, right? Like, can you imagine an existence where no one found you attractive, and then all of a sudden, a busload of chicks who just love thick Polacks come into town, right? You'd be in your glory, right? This would change your whole life.
Sounds like Bizarro World, but yeah, I guess it'd be cool.
This happens for lots of ladies in Norfolk County every year. I bet you Niagara too, and Kent, Essex. If I had to venture a guess.
Not Haldeman.
Not Haldeman, no. Nope, too heavy ground. They can only grow the cash crops. They can't grow the ones that require the intense labor. Dave, everyone knows that. Haldeman County. Puh.
Yeah, get your high heels stuck in some clay.
I did a show in Dunville one time. I told 3 jokes about Haldeman Clay before I started. I was excited. I called my shots too. I go, I'm opening with 3 Clay jokes. Fuck that.
That's the only reason I know that. It was from that night.
Yeah, I did. I told 3 different Clay jokes that night.
Dunville.
What?
Dunville.
Yeah, Dunville at the Gun Club. It was a good show. Anyways, you think we should do our segment we call feedback? We got feedback?
We got feedback.
Welcome to Feedback. We got feedback. This week's show is brought to you, as always, by our friends at Amazon. If you go to Live from the Dutch Hall's website, livefromthedutchhall.com, and click on our Amazon banners, and do any of your Amazon shopping, and some of that money is going to come and help us, rather than that bald guy, Bezo, who has all the money anyway. He doesn't need it. Why don't you give it to a little church in Delhi? It's no big deal. Huh? And then, who else is it brought to you by? Norpac?
The beef people.
Oh, let's try that one more time. Norpac?
The beef people.
Oh, I like it. I think he's replaced. I think there's no question that Paul is unneeded, eh? He decided, I don't even want to get into it till after we're done sponsors. The other one we got to mention is, you know what? If you are thinking about spicing up your life because your friends are lame and the parties you go to mostly suck, you should give us an email at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, and we'll connect you with Van Dyke Party Services. What's that, you might ask? Well, we're going to send you between 5 and 29 Van Dyke first cousins, and you are going to have the time of your life. Have you seen it, Dave? Have you been a part of it before?
Guaranteed. the
Time of
best
your life.
Time of your life.
Well, yes, and this weekend, if you're looking to book us, no dice. We'll be at the wedding of Michael and Sweet Sweet Kelly. Not all of us, but me and Charters and Wes.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
You're not, right? Used to? No. You want to make it an issue and make it?
Yeah, what the
awkward
fuck,
between-
Mike? Where's my invite?
He feels so bad because he's related to like half of the world. So
he
like-
probably knows. I've probably already mentioned to him before that I fucking hate weddings, so
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's good.
That's good then. That we should turn it.
But I wish you all the
we
best,
missed
Mike.
our opportunity, and I'll tell you why.
Wish
We're
you all
not
the
going to
best, Mike.
punish Mike for this show. Number one, he's my cousin and I love him. Number two, it's his big day coming up. His nuptials are on the weekend. What I'm going to do is, Michael, I understand. Sweet, sweet Kelly needs your attention right now because you need to make sure she's focused. She shows up. She says those I do's because you are this close to losing it, buddy. You can't let this one slip through your fingers. You have to make sure she goes through with it. And then after that, you're locked in, buddy, because he's Catholic. You can't divorce him. It's a deal made by God, right, Dave?
Absolutely. Till death do you part.
Whose death?
Either one.
Just one of you that has to die, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
I see my way out. Oh, sorry. That was outside. Who else? Oh, and Van Dyke Party Services. We're going to send you between 5 and 29 Van Dyke First Cousins in bright yellow jackets. You're going to have the time of your life, and all it's going to cost you is $100 of cold hard cash, plus all of your expenses, which will be dear. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm going to tell you, if you don't have the time of your life, we'll give you back that $100. But those expenses have run through our bodies and potentially yours. Van Dyke Party Services,
Don't live your life in regret.
brought to you by our friends at Clean Flow. And you know what? We have to give us one last sponsor. It's a new sponsor to our program. They've been kind enough to produce our show. They are the fine people at Spiky Ball Studios. Spiky Ball Studios, a production house here in Delhi, Ontario. You can reach them at spikyballstudios@gmail.com. And if you need any audio, video, sound production, photography, or if you're looking for a hall or performance space or even fundraising opportunities, give us an email at spikyballstudios@gmail.com. And our commercial will get better once I just don't think of it on the spot.
Yeah.
Anyways, So, and that's it for sponsors. Thank you, everyone that's done that. We will be sending out sponsorship packages soon to new sponsors we're looking at doing things with at Spiky Ball and through Live from the Dutch Hall. So if you're interested in becoming a sponsor of our program, please reach out to us either at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com or spikyballstudios@gmail.com. And we would love to find creative ways to gain exposure for your product or your company. And now we need to get to feedback. This is a good one. We got some right on Gmail, on that live from the Dutch Hall at gmail.com. This one's from a longtime super fan of our program and shareholder, Kevin Van Dungen.
Hi, Kev.
Yeah, Kevin Van Dungen. This one I really enjoyed reading, so I want to share it with you. Let me see here. Lessons learned from the Wheel of Paul. What did I learn from the Wheel of Paul? Was that Paul is not the man's man I thought he was, and more of a gentle flower that's in touch with his feelings. Or did I learn a donkey can die from loneliness? Definitely it was the donkey. Happy birthday, Polly, you manly cunt. Eh? Kevin Van Dungen, you know what? You're a listener of the week.
Yeah, the listener of the week. It's your week, Kevin.
Yes, it is. And let me see who else was giving us. We had this guy, Kevin Sullivan. Do you remember Kevin Sullivan?
How does that ring a bell?
Well, he has a podcast out of, I think, North Carolina, I believe. And he called the Wait What If podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And remember, he hashtagged us on the, it said, Dutch Hall gives you AIDS.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
Started a big rivalry back then.
A war, if you will.
Yeah.
And I was saying that the Wait What If podcast molests children, right? That's what I said. And it was heated back and forth. We went both hit below the belt, you know? And I feel bad about it. Anyways, I guess that was part of our tribute show to Braden DeCuman, and he was listening to it, and it brought back the old feelings of the conflict we had together. Anyways, he is looking at doing a co-show together of some sort, or having a call-in, or having me on his program, or vice versa, in order to rehash this issue. And I don't know if we should throw an olive branch out to him, or if this is just like, let's go round two, buddy. Like I'll take you on again, because I'm not afraid to call you names. I'm not afraid of it at all, and you can bring your best to us, Kevin. Because he did say, P.S. at the end, live from the Dutch Hall gives you AIDS.
Oh.
He said it again. Hashtag. Kevin, I accept your challenge. I will go on your program. I will meet you in a dark alley. I will do whatever I need to do. It might be, I was going to say you motherfucker, but he's kind of a nice guy. I remember talking to him last time. He was a pretty good guy. Anyways, that's it for that. But you know who we, it's going to suck to talk to the cheese lady with no drums, eh?
Yeah, what happened to our drummer?
Yeah, where the
Where'd he
fuck
go?
did he
Taking a shit, probably.
Likely.
Eh?
Or
Let's go with
jerking
that.
off. He might be jerking off.
You think so, Shaz?
Nah, it was foreshadowing.
Right in the middle of the show? Like
You don't go in the middle of the show and jerk off. Kev's not that sexual. You heard his Tinder stories. He'd be like still on Tinder just shooting loads, right? If he was like you.
I said I was foreshadowing.
Projecting, I think you were projecting. You're pretending that Kevin has your penis and your weird brain.
I would never pretend that Kevin has my penis.
You wouldn't?
No.
Try it. Just do it in your head. Close your eyes and picture Kevin with your penis.
I'm the only one in here that could do that, too, because I'm the only one that's seen Kevin and my penis.
You have seen Kevin's penis?
I haven't seen Kevin's penis, but I've seen Kevin and my penis.
Oh. In the same room?
No.
No? Never in the same room?
Without a thin layer of cloth.
You've seen, it's two separate sentences. You've seen Kevin
Yes, right there.
Belanger,
He's right there.
and you've seen your penis.
Yes,
Two separate sentences.
today.
Now what I'm asking you to do is close your eyes and take those two pictures that are totally separate from one another right? And two separate and then almost close your eyes and then bring them together. Bring them together until your penis is underneath where, like coming out of Kev's jeans, you know?
No, it doesn't,
So what's
it
this
doesn't
about?
line up. There's no way that my penis can land on Kevin. No way.
I thought you had a big dick, though.
Thanks, Kev.
Is that a rumor? Is that a rumor that you got a big hog?
It's been a rumor for some time. Remember, Kev and I went to high school together.
Yeah? You shower in the gym class?
No, he was a few years younger than me. That would be an
Yeah, but you were just watching. You were dressed, right? You didn't see his penis, you said.
I've never seen Kevin's penis, but I've seen my penis and Kevin, and I couldn't picture my penis on Kevin.
Too big? Too big?
Yeah, it's too big. I couldn't picture it either.
You know, I think Shaz's dick looks big because his body's small. I don't think that. I think if me and his dicks were exactly the same size and we had them on our bodies beside each other, that yours would look bigger because you're a smaller person with the same size dick.
Visually larger.
Visually larger. Like Kevin Hart is supposed to have a big, huge cock, right?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Kevin Hart's like 5'3" or something, right?
Yeah, but I just mean like the pigments won't line up of our skin tones and just like.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And also the experience of my dick on Kevin's brain doesn't work, or Kevin's.
No, that was my point. You were projecting your penis thoughts onto Kevin. When I was saying he was taking a shit, you said he's jerking off in the middle of the show.
No, I was just getting a coffee.
I thought we were gonna get some coffee and we were gonna talk about the cheese.
The cheese lady, yeah. You mind if we talk to the cheese lady? We wanted to wait till we had the
cheese
drummer back, yeah. We gotta check on her because she gave us some feedback. From time to time, we will get feedback from a great listener of our program from the Second Mouse in Delhi, Ontario. Teresa will give us feedback on Podbean, and this week is no exception. She says, "Happy birthday, Paul. Happy anniversary, Pete and Jane. I'm off to Mexico. Woohoo. The cheese lady. I'll tell you, cheese lady, enjoy your time over there in Mexico. Try the, how do you say cheese in Spanish?
Queso.
Queso. Enjoy the queso, right? And then I see some stuff on social media. She looks like she's having a real good time over there in Mexico, and she deserves it. She works very hard. But I'm going to tell you, cheese lady, when you get back to Delhi, we are going to barrage you for that cheese tray because eventually we're going to get our act together. We're going to get our technology figured out and all of our construction stuff taken care of. And we have to have a shareholder gala where we invite all the shareholders to come to a big premiere here at Spiky Ball Studios in the new Dutch Hall. And for that, we will require a huge cheese tray, Teresa. And I need you to be ready for the request because it's coming hot when you come home from Mexico. And David. Oh shoot! I lost my train of thought with the Ariba.
Something about cheese?
Who did the Ariba? Did you? Ariba. That's Tito Santana. Huh? Is that where you got it from? Dave, do you start watching wrestling lately? I want to.
Just when my dad's over.
Oh yeah. He still loves it, right? I was trying to educate Steve on the finer points of wrestling today, because I'm trying to tell him how life is just wrestling, and you have to look at it that way. Like because wrestling, everything's wrestling, right? That's I think. Because wrestling. That's what I'm trying to get through to Steve. Because wrestling, right? That's what you have to think all the time. Because It doesn't make any sense, but somehow I made that make sense today when I was trying to educate young Steven on wrestling, because it is about wrestling, everything.
Because wrestling.
Wrestling's art. It invokes more emotion than anything else, and it requires more skills than anything else. You have to use your dramatic skills, your acrobatic skills, your all kinds of different skills, nunchuck skills, right?
Snake handling skills.
Snake handling skills, yeah. Literally snake
You
handling
need your
skills.
balance.
Balance.
You really need your
Yeah,
balance.
you need a lot of things. You're not just like those Broadway actors. Those wrestlers got to do things that no Broadway actor ever has to do. You don't have to jump off a cage through a table.
Yeah, there's no barbed wire.
No barbed wire in fucking Broadway.
No,
I know, they made me leave it out in my car.
that's
All I
right.
wanted to do is bring some barbed wire to a nice play in New York City when I was there on a vacation. No big deal. So you're wondering where Paul is. I want to say, because Cheese Lady was nice enough to say happy birthday to Paul. Paul's not here, of course. He is at the Sheepdogs. And we opened the show with the Sheepdogs tonight because in Norfolk County right now, it's a big deal. The Sheepdogs, there are 2 nights in Waterford at Old Town Hall, which is like a little tiny venue. And a lot of us on the show were able to go last night to see their first show. And I got to tell you, it was awesome venue, and the Sheepdogs did great. And wow, great performers. And one of the Sheepdogs, Jimmy Boskill, he actually came through the Spiky Ball Studios a few weeks ago. And then I watched him perform for the first time last night. I couldn't believe how entertaining that guy was to watch. Great addition to the band, the Sheepdogs. Eh?
Absolutely.
Charles, have you seen him before?
No, that was my first time, and it was awesome. Great show. I couldn't believe that guy. Like, I wasn't expecting it at all.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Best
Incredible
suit in
talent.
rock and roll.
Oh, what a suit. With all
Yeah.
the patches of the provinces.
Yeah, on the sleeves, was that like the flowers, the official flowers from each province too?
Oh, I bet you it is.
I think
What
there
it
was
look
like an
like?
Alberta rose and a white trillium from Ontario. I think I spotted them. And Steve said the CN Tower was embroidered on his back.
On the back, the bottom.
Proud Canadians, eh?
A
That's what I
nice
like.
blue suit, like a baby blue suit with like colored
Yeah.
embroidery.
And he's
Awesome.
new to the band, right?
Yeah.
Because I saw the Sheepdogs probably like years ago, a few years ago. I've seen them a couple times, but I saw them a few years ago in Tennessee, and that was cool seeing them Canadians.
Yeah.
It was right when they were first breaking there, right?
Yeah. Their big break was getting the cover of the Rolling Stone, right?
Yeah.
And then that was just like a contest, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. They're the only unsigned band to ever grace the cover of Rolling Stone magazine.
Oh, really?
They got to be signed now, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was cool, man. It was cool to see him in such a small venue, and the place was packed, and the crowd was hot, and to watch how excited they were.
Crowd wasn't hot.
You didn't think so?
No. And sorry, it's in my opinion. My opinion's different than yours.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was a lot of hoity-toity old people there that were sitting on their hands.
Yeah, Wes is nodding his head, yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Is that what happened?
Real good standers in Waterford.
What are you talking about, Charles?
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
When they hit a solo or something and the crowd would pop, you could see them. You could see the band
But it was the back of the
was
room,
enjoying it.
right? Don't you think it was the back of the room?
That was popping.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just got loud.
Front didn't move.
Yeah, the seats were pretty quiet. Yeah.
Because when they just rattled their jewelry, right? They're just.
That's right.
I don't know. That was my. I think that tonight's show's probably gonna be better, and Paul's gonna say this is why he missed this program today, is because he wanted to not have those chairs of the people that are gonna look like wet rags the whole time. They're gonna ruin the show, and tonight will be a better show because of that. And I think he's probably right, but he also has an obligation to this program, and he's not getting married this weekend, so. We're setting goals for 2019. That's one of the things we said we were going to do with this. Paul didn't show up. It's a clear tradition on this show, fellas, that that when a person doesn't show up, they need to face a jury of their peers and be punished in some fashion, or at least ridiculed publicly.
Right.
And if we want to make up lies about them, we make up lies about them. So last week, Paul was the hero. This week, Paul is the zero. So, Charters,
Just like that.
what do you think we got to do?
For Paul?
Yeah, how do we
Well, we should
enact
set some
revenge?
goals for him. If he's not here to set his own goals, we'll set his goals for him.
I think you might be onto something there, Dave. I think let's go with that. I have an idea. You like the gays, right, Dave?
I like everyone.
So you like the gays, right, Dave? Right?
They're part of everyone, so yes.
Okay, we admit it. We know that Dave likes gays, right? And live from the Dutch Hall, we support all people, including the gays, right?
Yeah, of course.
So don't you think it would be appropriate that we have some representation in the Pride Parade?
Yeah.
I don't care which one, just any Pride Parade. We need to go out there and show our support for that community. Don't you think, Dave, that would be nice?
I think we should
show
send-
inclusiveness or
We
something?
should send one of our own out.
Why don't we send Paul as a representative of Live from the Dutch Hall to the Gay Pride Parade? If not to march, then at least just to cover the parade. Because I think that could be gold, eh? That
think
could
so.
be.
Makes sense.
All right. Paul at least has to witness. Man, I want to run the camera for that one because it's going to be so funny to just see how ignorant his reaction will be. Oh, man, I want to watch it so bad. Can we do that for real?
Let's write that one
I was
down.
saying that as a joke at first, and then I'm like thinking about it. Like, no, I want to bring Paul. You got to come too, Dave. You want to go to the Gay Pride Parade this year?
Yeah, sure.
When is it? It used to be July 1st, and I was like, fuck that, I have a party every
I
year.
think it still is.
They changed it last year. You can't have Canada Day gays.
I've gone twice, and it's always a great time.
You've been twice?
I've been to the parade twice.
What do you
Been a
do
couple
there?
times.
What's the day of the Gay Pride Parade like? Because I've never been.
Yeah, it's a parade.
It's a parade. A lot of shirts are off. That's about it. It's like
They
it's
don't,
A, parade,
uh,
a
You
lot
get
of
real
shirts
drunk.
that are off.
You get real drunk.
You can drink on the
Fuck yeah,
street?
you get day drunk on the streets, bae.
They'll let you drink on the streets?
Oh yeah.
In Canada?
Fuck yeah.
You drink on the streets all the time when you live in Toronto. It's pretty open.
Really?
Same
Oh,
shit.
yeah. All
I
the
don't
time.
know.
Because I remember the first time I went to go visit my sister, she was living in Chicago, and I thought that the United States, because every time I'd been in the United States, it was for like a football game or for like a NASCAR race or something like that, and everybody gets to drink everywhere they want. I thought the United States, you could drink wherever you wanted, so every time I would go out anywhere with them, I would bring like a couple beers and be drinking beers walking down the road.
No big deal.
Yeah, and then my brother-in-law's like whispering to he didn't know me that well then, and he's whispering to my sister saying like, why is your brother like, is he a real alcoholic or something? Because he's like walking around drinking openly on the streets. But in England, you could do that. When I lived in England, you could drink on the streets. There was no problem. They liked it. There were a bunch of alcoholics there.
That brings us right back to your Me Too moment of getting raped in the drunk tank.
Was that on air, Dave?
Wasn't that you?
What?
Wasn't
What?
that your Me Too moment in the drunk tank?
Did we talk about that on the show?
I think so.
Did we really? Was that on the show? I thought that was before the show. Oh, so that's mine.
You're
No,
drunk,
not
you're drunk
mine.
again.
No, it's not my Me Too moment. It was. I was saying you could have shared that moment with Shazma, is what I said,
Oh.
because he was raped in the drunk
I
tank.
got mixed up.
Or was it the weed? You weren't?
No.
I'm sorry. That's my mistake. Shazma was not raped in the drunk tank. That was my mistake. I apologize. Let me just go on the record as saying Tyler Shazma was not raped in the drunk tank. The more you say it, the more people won't think it. That's what I learned. You keep saying that he wasn't, people will just think. It's like if Charter's like, you look at him, right? Look at this guy, he's in a church band every week, looks like an honest citizen, right? And then all of a sudden, you start hearing something over and over again, you know, like, Dave Charters is not necessarily a cannibal. You know, Dave Charters is not necessarily a cannibal. He may or may not eaten human remains before. Right? Say stuff like that. Now all of a sudden people are got a budding thought that Charters might eat people.
I don't.
Right? But he says he doesn't. But now people sometimes just listen to little bits of the show and then they think Charters eats people. Right? Because maybe they just turned it on right then.
Yeah.
And all you heard is Charters eats people.
Yeah. Next thing you know, it's on TMZ.
And he says, yeah, and they turned it off right away in horror. Oh, you think it's on TMZ now? Charters eats people. That's how it goes, right, Dave? Yeah. It would be TMZ.
TMZ.
Yeah. There it goes, Kev. TMZ.
He just eats their baby toes. He's got a jar of pickled baby toes.
Oh, do you eat
Not
baby toes, Dave?
Not toes from babies, just
Nope.
grown men's baby toes.
Oh, that's not as bad, Dave. You gotta admit.
The little one on the outside.
Okay, we'll move on to our interview with our great guest Tyler Shazma in a little bit. But one last question for you, Dave, before we move on. If you have to choose one of these options. Okay, you have to eat a grown man's baby toe, or any one of a baby's toe. Which one would you do?
Grown man.
Even you'd eat the grown man's toe? Yeah, see? That's what Chad said.
That's what I said.
You said gross, though.
It is gross.
What?
Eating a man's toe.
Why do you do it all the time?
Why are you doing it, Dave? This is fun, right? You can just sabotage a person's whole character like that. Now, even by accident, I might do it, Charters. I might not even do it on purpose, because people are going to think out there. Like, you might even go walking around. What if you're going in and around having a big business meeting, you're wearing your big business attire, whatever you do? I picture you in like some sort of a white suit with like, I would imagine like a gold hat or something. Is that what you wear?
That's what you picture me in?
Yeah. Like a gold hat and like a white suit like Mr. Clean or whatever?
Pretty close.
Is that right? You don't wear a tie though, because that'll get caught in the works, right? Because you're a master of industry, right?
No ties.
No ties. So you probably just wear like a mock turtleneck
I can't get the top button done up
on a what? On a mock turtleneck?
on a shirt.
Any shirt.
Yeah,
Any shirt. That's because you need a neck for that, eh? You weren't born with a neck. There's a guy on wrestling that reminds me of you now. There's a new fella in wrestling who's called the Dozer, Dosevich or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like he might be your long lost brother,
The
Church.
Pollock?
Definitely. And he does the worm. No neck at all. I'll show you a picture of him.
Oh, I can't wait.
And that, you want to see him?
No.
Oh, I gotta show you. I'll show you after the show, Dave. He looks like he's a relative of yours for sure. I'll show him to you. You're gonna like him. Anyways, Paul. So we did Paul, right? He's not really punished. I think this is gonna be a fun event for him. I think it's really gonna open his eyes to a lot of great things. And we have a realistic goal that we can accomplish in 2019, the first of many.
Right.
But you know what? Let's continue this conversation by introducing formally our guest and our great friend of the show, Tyler Shazma, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
You know, Tyler, we take for granted having a man of your talent and caliber on our program because so often you've blessed us by being a guest on our show, and it just seems natural to have you here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think so too?
Yes.
It's easy. It's easy. He's always done well. But I don't know if we've ever delved deeply into the Renaissance man that is Tyler Shazma. Have we? Real deep?
How deep would you like to go?
I don't want to go that deep, but I don't know if we've really showcased. We've said how many things he's been a part of, like you came here to promote Pop and Chip Party. You came here to promote whale pranks. You've came to promote your comedy. You know, you've got you've been a video producer for quite some time. You know, you got projects on the go forever.
I try to keep busy.
Yeah, and I think things are really you're starting to really take off with some cool projects lately, right? Are you allowed to talk about what you're doing?
Yeah, I can talk.
The ones that you produced recently, the albums that are out. You produced some albums for Tyler Morrison.
Yes.
They're out, right?
Yes, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been producing a lot of fun comedy stuff and working with a lot of people that I've had the pleasure to work with over the years. I like them.
Yeah, and how do you, it's pretty lucky to be able to work with people you actually enjoy, like their work.
Yeah.
Because would you do the same work for a comic that you thought stunk?
Yeah.
You would, eh?
No, I wouldn't do the same work.
Well, you would have to do the same work. Well,
Have I in the past? Maybe. No. I love working with my friends and people that are on the same wavelength as me. And I feel like all the comedians that I've worked with recently have been in that same wheelhouse as myself.
Yeah. I think it's a great time for comedy right now.
I think it's a great time, too. There's so many different avenues, and you can just throw it out into the world, and people can take it if they like it.
Yeah.
I think people are taking things if they like it, and if they don't like it, they are walking away. There's only a few that are writing blogs now, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's only like the really 1% or something like that of people that actually cause a problem or would go far enough to like create a stink if they didn't like what you're doing. Most people, if they don't like something, just ignore it completely because it won't affect them at all, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday when I was at the Sheepdogs, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was that I felt there was too much hoity-toityness or whatever. Dave didn't see it.
I think you're right, though. Tonight's going to be like the Dirtbag Waterford crowd.
Huh?
Tonight's going to be the Dirtbag Waterford crowd.
Yeah, it's going to be a better crowd tonight because there was no people blocking the front. And then, and it was also the second people to get tickets. So they weren't all like the friends and the connected people from the people booking the show, who would be like the ones that have like, they owe a favor to and people that have given money and stuff, all that kind of jazz. This will be like the real fans will be at tonight's show. I think Paul really did. But last night's show was so good, I didn't lose it. I didn't miss anything. It was terrific, right? It was a great show by world-class performers in a small little town, and they seemed to enjoy it as much as we did. Sorry to go back to that point, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. That's exactly what I was getting at.
Yeah. But anyways, what I was saying was I was in a bad mood, and then I was outside in the smoking area, and there's this woman who was on a date with her boyfriend or husband or whatever he was. Some guy. And me and Steve, the reluctant German, were talking, and I was saying something that Steve had. I've already talked to Steve about in the past.
That's right.
It was just a theory, you know, like sometimes you bring up like wonderabouts or hypothetical situations, you know. I was just bringing up a hypothetical situation. Maybe I wasn't using the most friendly language to use in a public setting in front of mixed company or whatever, you know.
Maybe.
That's probably fair. I could have done a better job of using more appropriate language in a public setting. I think that's probably true. But the point I was making was just a strict point. It was one that I was posing to my friend, because I know he's a married man, and I'm saying someday there will come a time when your wife's going to go through menopause, and her sexual appetite's not going to be what it once was.
Right.
So I was making the point, what if your sexual appetite is still like going strong because you're like a horny old man, and your wife thinks having sex with you would be the grossest thing ever. She wants to stop doing it because all of her like hormones that make her want to bang you are gone or whatever. And then you have to make an agreement with her at that point in time that she's got to let you bang other people because she thinks it's gross. She can't be jealous. You know, if someone's doing something she thinks gross.
She doesn't want to do it.
She doesn't want to do it. Somebody else is doing it. And not only do I think you should give her the pass, but you should go to the kids and make sure the kids know that daddy's got a pass to go out and go fucking. Right? That's the way I said it on the thing.
Yeah.
I had said that before to Steve, and it's just kind of joking around, you know. And this one was eavesdropping, which shame on her, right?
That's right. It was none of her business.
It was none of her business. But I noticed over Steve's shoulder that she was getting progressively more angry at me as I spoke, and I realized I wasn't saying it for Steve's benefit at all. I could care less about Steve. I was doing it to make her angry on purpose.
Right.
Because I got such a kick out of it. Like when she told her husband, I have to get out of here, I can't take this anymore, I laughed so hard, it was the best.
It was awesome.
And that's sickness, right? Like there's something wrong with me to enjoy that much, eh?
Yep.
You don't think so, Wes? You're on my side then.
Yeah.
You would do that?
I get entertainment out of this.
Do you do that?
What?
And so you'll pick up on the fact that they're mad at you.
Yeah.
And then
I
that
feed
doesn't
off of it.
stop you. You keep going because
Yeah, you go deeper then.
yeah, I do it too.
They're
If it's a
uncomfortable
silly
with it.
thing or just like anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and strangers, I like it with strangers too. Like I'll piss off a stranger just for fun, and that's wrong. Like there's no way you can defend that as being right. But I really enjoy it sometimes, and that's a dangerous thing to do when you have a microphone in front of a crowd too, and you're like just want to piss people off, and because I'm afraid I'm doing that instead.
Yeah, it's all right. Burn them down.
I think if you get entertainment out of it and don't actually hurt anybody, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I think you're right though. You can't hurt anybody. There can't be a victim.
Or you can hurt one person if it makes everyone else laugh.
Yeah, they got to be a dickhead though.
They have to deserve it, yeah. And then
Yeah.
they leave, and everyone else is laughing, saying that person is a piece of shit.
You have to pick a person that's like, if they're disrupting that for everyone else, and then you can be mean to them because everybody wants that person to stop being a dick or whatever. But otherwise, I don't think it works to be too mean because the crowd could turn on you, and then you're gotta like get them back, eh?
Let them go.
What if you're dealing with an ornery audience member, right, and you get too mean to them? Sometimes the crowd will side with the audience member. Have you noticed that ever?
Nah.
No? Well, maybe it's just me because I get too mean then. Like, 'cause maybe I look too angry.
Yeah.
You're harmless.
I am harmless. People see that right away. I'm like a little gerbil up there on stage.
You crawl up their ass, right? Scratch them with your cocaine claws.
Tickle them where they need to be and get them giggling and get out of there.
Do you giggle with the gerbil up your ass?
I think you would.
I think at least you would, to quote Brandon McIntosh, you'd at least do a Ric Flair woo, eh? Like,
Woo!
just to,
That's how I would know if Brandon was having fingers in his butt.
you can just hear it.
Yeah, he lived in the next room for like 10 years. We lived together, so I knew. Oh, microphone. I should have better mic technique.
Yeah.
Oh, you get an F.
I'll hold it.
Yeah, there you go.
I like holding it. I don't like holding it, but
So Shazma, you've done all these great projects,
yeah, I got cool things on the go.
cool things on the go. You've shown support for our show for a long period
I
of
love
time.
this show. I love this place.
And you've been you're housed your company in the Spiky Ball Studios, right?
Yeah, I moved in.
And you know, I gotta look at it objectively, right? We have Spiky Ball helping our show get better. You work for Spiky Ball. And then on the other hand, you look at my brother, Paul Van Dyke. He's carrying on so many tasks. This guy's got to come week after week. He's got to be a bartender. He's got to sometimes drive a bus. Sometimes he's got to like
build a stage.
Yeah.
build a stage.
Yeah.
Other-
I love Paul. He's here.
Yeah. But you know, you give him too many jobs, and then we're throwing director on top of him, and things are getting more and more complex. I think we have to give the guy a break. He's still got to say NORPAC. He's our spokesperson.
People.
The big
Right?
people. I can't do it the way he does it.
No, you should do it the way you would do it, Shaz.
How I would do it.
Yeah. This first way you did it was perfect.
The beef people.
Oh, did you guys know that Shazma is, if you go into downtown Toronto, what is it, on Blue Jay Way?
Yeah.
If you go on Blue Jay Way, you look at a big billboard there. There's
It's right by like a Domino's Pizza and a Tim Hortons.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's a huge ad with Shazma on it. Like, drinking a coffee.
Yeah, I
His
did.
hair's blowing back and stuff.
I did a print ad. I was an actor or
A model.
a model. Yeah, it was a print ad. So.
Hey, you're a fucking model. You should tell everyone that. Model.
Why do everybody wants credits?
Actor / model.
Everyone wants pussy. Tell girls I'm a model, and then you give them that $1 million smile you flash around. Then you know they would throw it at you.
It was a fun little gig. He told me it was gonna be a billboard. I guess it is a billboard.
It's kind of a billboard because it's more the side of a building, right?
Yeah, it's cool though. People take pictures of it and send it to me all the time.
Yeah.
At least once every 3.5 weeks.
That's awesome. No, it's really. Have you drove past it yourself?
No, I haven't been by it.
You haven't?
No.
I've been by it. I have been by it. I showed Jane, my wife.
Oh yeah.
Your
did?
wife.
My wife. I say, Jane, look, that's my friend. I know a model. I'm friends with a model.
There's a cool coffee shop at it. No, I knew the way I got the gig. I knew the director of photography, the photographer.
Yeah.
And they were casting it, and they couldn't get somebody to make a wacky surprise face like they just had the best coffee. And he's like, I know a guy.
You pulled it off, wacky surprise face.
Yeah.
You don't want to get typecast. Can you do other faces?
No, just wacky surprise.
You do sad? Can you do disappointed?
No, I can do straight miserable, but that's just my everyday face.
Oh, your everyday face, yeah. Do you think that...
That's just mouth breathing. When I look like you guys probably seen around the office maybe, I look like I'm absolutely miserable. That's just me struggling to breathe. It's nothing anyone's done.
Is that from smashing your face when you're riding a bicycle?
No, I think the breathing problems were already there.
Really? Even before you smashed your face?
Well, the smashing of my face didn't help, which is, I'm glad you brought that up. I recently saw a new clip of that, and it's right after it happened, and my face was mangled.
This is from a bicycle?
Yeah, I rode BMX bicycles.
So what was the trick you were trying to do?
Just jump something.
And smash your face?
And then we were at a concrete skate park in Oakville, Ontario, and I was jumping over a hip or some sort of concrete thing, and I went over the handlebars and face to the concrete. My one tooth went flying out, and my buddy knew that if we put it in milk, we'd be okay.
And they put it back in?
No, they said that I was a goner. It was going to be years to fix it, not to bother with it. Plus, like, we were an hour and a half away in Oakville. Plus, on the way home, we got lost. And I didn't get in to see an emergency dentist till like 8 o'clock at night. And my teeth were all jammed through my nose and stuff. And I was concussed.
Did they have to wake you up so often? Is that what they do when you're concussed?
Yeah, they don't let you fall asleep. I've been concussed often.
Really?
Oh, a few times.
So you could have that, you could go crazy when you're in your 50s.
We'll see.
Ticking time bomb beside me, Shazma. Did you know that about him? Huge. We learned a lot about him today, didn't we? We learned Shazma is a model with a huge dick.
I was a hand model once, dude. Did I ever
Oh,
tell
really?
you that?
No.
It's not my first modeling gig. I've been around.
Let me see your hands.
Well, I got all cheese grater knuckled now, and my dog.
Yeah, but look at your cuticles and all that stuff. Those are beautiful fingers.
No,
Oh, they're nice.
This was at least 10, 12 years ago. Like, I didn't have all these cheese grater scars on my knuckles, you know? But,
Back when your hands were beautiful. Back when they were fresh hands, eh?
Yeah.
Young, inexperienced
It was
hands.
a BMX gig, too. That was, you know those old flip tricks finger bikes, right?
Oh,
The finger bikes?
I know finger bikes. They're so stupid.
They're so stupid, but I understood how they worked, and I was really good at them. And I passed an audition at like this big toy company in Toronto.
Way. You were a finger bike hand model?
Oh yeah, I did at least. I did 3 or 4 commercial spots. I can find them for you on YouTube.
Oh,
they're still out there. And so I did it. I went on set to do this, right? And not only was I good at doing the finger bike stuff, but because I came from a BMX background, they made me like BMX consultant on set. I had to like look at all the tricks afterwards, and because they had a little kid that would do the wide shots, and then my hand would be the close-up shots, right?
This is amazing.
It was a 3-day shoot in some big backyard in Toronto, some big rich mansion house, right? And I show up there to do it, and the 2 camera guys working the job, I had been working at Panavision, the rental house there in Toronto, right? So I was working there as a camera prep tech for like 6 months. So I got to know all these camera guys coming through that did commercial work. So I show up on set, and they're like, "Oh, are you bringing us a box of lenses or something?" I'm like, "No, man. I'm the fucking talent today. I'm the hand model. It was me, a puppeteer from the big comfy couch, and then this 8-year-old kid doing the wide shots."
Awesome.
The big comfy couch. That was with that clown, right? Lunette.
Yeah, I met the puppeteer. He was
10 Second Tidy?
I don't know. I didn't watch the show,
Is that
but
the big
he
comfy
was
couch?
giving me his card. He was gonna get me into puppeteering and doing hand model stuff, and I was like, I don't know, it's kind of a one-off gig, you know. When I moved to Toronto, that's how Brandon and I just made money. We just looked at Craigslist ads and looked for weird jobs. I was on a game show, and Brandon did his thing, you know.
Yeah, but I want to go back to Lunette from the big comfy couch. Because your perspective on that show, you know the puppeteer personally, right?
Yeah, but I've never watched the show.
Me and Charters and Steve, we all think of that show differently. Because we were taking care of our young children, young babies, you know, watching the television, trying to say, "You like this show, Big Comfy Couch?" And all of a sudden, Lynette likes to do the stretching to the clock, right? Yeah. Remember that part?
Yep.
That was puppeteered, probably, right?
Oh my God, it was so hot, whatever it was. Lynette was hot as fuck. You were just like, why do I want to bang this clown so much? I shouldn't want to bang this clown so much. Not when I'm trying to take care of my young babies, you know? But I did. But I did a lot. Remember?
All I remember from that show is 10 Second Tidy. That's the same show, right?
Yep.
There's a huge couch, and then she would have to clean up once in a while. And
Yeah.
I would be to my kids like, "Look how she's cleaning up. Why don't you clean up?" Crying out loud.
You
This
sound like a
show
really
not
fun dad.
Teaching you anything?
Do you?
10
do you-
Second Tidy.
I thought you were gonna say you got turned on because she was cleaning up, but no, you just got angry at your kids from it.
That's right.
That's what you enjoy, right? You're like, I like that show too. It made me yell at my kids.
Supposed to teach them something.
That's your favorite thing to do, right?
Sometimes.
He's weird, eh?
What?
Charters? He's an odd
He's
duck.
a fucking weirdo, yeah.
I usually regret it after, but
Aw, you got real all of a sudden. Well, yeah, you should regret it. You should just let those kids be kids. Maybe you should let them fly, Dave. Maybe you should knock them out of the nest and let that bird soar to the heavens. They don't need you anymore. Maybe you can't be such a tiger parent. Maybe you got to be like more of a...
llama?
Is there a llama parent now? What does that mean?
I have no idea. What does tiger parent mean?
No idea.
You eat your kids.
Oh, we're back to that. No, I don't.
Oh, no,
eat
separate.
humans.
Sorry.
Honestly, don't.
Anyways, guys, we've run long tonight, if you believe it. And we have to get going. So if you'd like to support our show or give us some feedback.
Hey, wait. Does anyone have the new director?
Oh, damn it. You're right.
What do we gotta do?
Jump the gun, people. I jumped the gun. Tyler Shazma, our guest here. I was just setting it up. Paul's fired. Chaz is hired.
Whoa.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul's not fired from bartending and bus driving and building stages
Or even directing.
and brothering. No, yes, he is. He's fired from directing.
Oh, shit.
Fired. Sometimes he might have to do it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we still might not figure it out. We got new equipment, but we're too stupid to run it yet. It takes a lot of time to learn things. So if you'd like to, Chaz, you'll take the job, right?
Yeah, I'll take the job.
Yes.
And ideally, the booth's going to be behind this curtain behind us. He'll be like Oz himself, right? Eventually, like down the road. Eventually behind this curtain, that's where he'll be, like Oz. And eventually, if we need to talk to Shaz, we can go via satellite or whatever.
Only if you knock real loud.
Yeah, we'll knock. And then he'll be able to control the whole setup here for Spiky Balls Productions of Live from the Dutch Hall going forward as soon as we figure it out. So welcome aboard, Tyler Shazma.
We'll figure it out.
And thank you, everyone, for listening to this program. Tell a friend. Give us some feedback on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com. And until next week, we will see you, NT. See you next time.
Thanks.
Fuck yeah.